On World News Tonight this Sunday, just hours before the release of the president on videotape, a more complete picture of his testimony. Anger, regret, and concern for Monica Lewinsky. Hurricane George gaining strength and heading straight for Puerto Rico. And Mark who? Chicago fans show Sammy Sosa he's the one.
From ABC News, this is World News Tonight, Sunday.
Good evening. I'm Carol Simpson. We know more tonight about what President Clinton told the grand jury. And by this time tomorrow, Americans will have had the opportunity to see and hear the president's testimony for themselves. Tomorrow morning, Congress will release his videotaped testimony along with 2,800 pages of evidence, including transcripts of sexually explicit testimony from Monica Lewinsky. We begin tonight with ABC's Mike Von Fremd at the White House. Mike?
Carol, the tape will be fed over fiber optic television lines to news organizations from Capitol Hill shortly after 9 a.m. tomorrow. The first 7 minutes shows a prosecutor quizzing the president about whether he understands the oath he has taken and what it means to tell the whole truth.
Inside the White House map room, the entire 4.5 hours of testimony was recorded by one camera focusing only on the president. Mr. Clinton is sitting in a chair answering prosecutors who were heard but not seen. One of the first questions to the president was whether he had been intimate with Monica Lewinsky. Mr. Clinton answers with this prepared statement, quote, "I engaged in conduct that was wrong. These encounters did not consist of sexual intercourse. They did not constitute sexual relations, as I understood that term to be defined at my January 17, 1998 deposition. But they did involve inappropriate intimate contact." The president adds that he and Lewinsky also had telephone conversations that included, quote, "inappropriate sexual banter." But to preserve what he called the dignity of his office, the president refuses to be any more specific, even when grand jurors submit pointed questions about the sexual encounters. The president seems to become defensive when prosecutors ask if he lied to his cabinet when he told them he never had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky. Then there are the neckties given to him by Monica Lewinsky. Prosecutors ask if he was sending her a signal when he wore this one on the day of her grand jury testimony, or when White House steward Bayani Nelvis wore this one for one of his grand jury appearances. The president seemed baffled by the questions. At one point, the president expresses appreciation to the prosecutors for granting immunity to Monica Lewinsky and her mother. Most of the questioning was conducted by Ken Starr's deputies, but near the end, Starr himself asked the president why he invoked executive privilege. After that, Mr. Clinton's lawyer, David Kendall, ends the testimony. Today, the debate continued on whether the House Judiciary Committee is doing the right thing by releasing the tape.
What's good about this is the American people will be able to evaluate this without having to be filtered through the media or through the opinions of members of Congress.
They decided that rather than just doing a document dump, they would do a garbage dump on Monday, and I think people are going to wonder about that.
While officials were arguing on Sunday talk shows, the president and first lady went to church. Tomorrow, the president will be addressing the UN General Assembly in New York, just as the tape is being made public. Mike Von Fremd, ABC News, the White House.
This is Tim O'Brien. When the tapes start rolling in Washington, millions of viewers will be glued to their sets. But the most damaging evidence may be in the supporting documents, 2,800 pages that provided the basis for Ken Starr's X-rated report, and which the committee will also release tomorrow morning.
Some of it's going to be cleaned up. It's not a pretty story to tell or listen to, and that's just the way it is.
Even Republicans like Graham say the material must be read critically.
Please remember that none of this, almost none of this, has been tested adversarially. There are statements being made against the president where nobody has been cross-examined yet.
Expected to be made public and instantly available on the internet, transcripts of messages the president left on Lewinsky's answering machine, Lewinsky's email to her friends and some of her letters to the president, details of their telephone sex, transcripts of some of Linda Tripp's secretly recorded tapes, and photographs of that infamous blue dress with an incriminating stain encircled.
Tomorrow, there's going to be no intermediaries, no spin. The public is going to review the raw evidence, one way or the other. And in many ways, they'll be like a jury.
Sources say the grand jury is continuing to look into the roles of Deputy White House counsel Bruce Lindsay and First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton. They are all but certain to be mentioned tomorrow. Most of the printed material is expected to merely reinforce what we already know, but at least some of it could also shed light on the continuing work of the Lewinsky grand jury and on who, if anyone, is still at risk of indictment. Tim O'Brien, ABC News at the Capitol.
President Clinton will be joined at the United Nations tomorrow by other world leaders, including Tony Blair. The British Prime Minister still voices support for the president, but tomorrow his office is expected to release a statement on the importance of marriage and family. In this country, one key constituency continues to support the president, and he will meet with them several days this week. Last night, it was the Congressional Black Caucus.
I give you the president of the United States of America.
It was like a tonic for President Clinton. More than 3,000 black people on their feet, cheering him.
I want to thank you for standing up for me and understanding the true meaning of repentance and atonement.
Recent polls show many more blacks approve of President Clinton's job performance than whites. Why would so many African Americans here give such an overwhelming show of support to an embattled President Clinton? We found out that it has everything to do with the black experience and the issue of race in America. Black people say he has supported them more than any other president in history. They say they won't abandon him despite his moral lapses.
As an individual, I don't condone it, but I understand what happened. I understand.
I would think black people would be madder than anyone else.
The good things have outnumbered the bad things, so that's one reason I think we can get over what he has done.
It almost looks like entrapment to find something to get him on.
You think there might be a conspiracy to get President Clinton?
Oh, yes, I do.
That's why the Black Caucus decided this weekend to wage a major campaign to get out the black vote this fall in an effort to elect Democrats who support the president.
If you want to say, I don't want to impeach Bill Clinton, then the easiest way to do it is on November 3rd, change the Congress.
Black Americans, whose history is rooted in the Christian faith, also describe themselves as a forgiving people.
If we hadn't had the capacity to forgive, we would have hardly been able to live in the same country with white people.
As many segments of the American people seem to be turning away from President Clinton, he continues to find solace among his most loyal constituency. He told them last night,
I am very, very grateful.
Vice President Al Gore also received a warm welcome at last night's Black Caucus Gala. During the presidential crisis, Gore has remained a steadfast friend and supporter of the president's. But that could be a risky position for a presidential hopeful. ABC's John Cochran has been traveling with the vice president.
The reminders of a presidency in peril are everywhere, but anyone looking for hints that the vice president is trying to separate himself from Bill Clinton will look in vain.
The best thing we have going for us is a president of the United States
whose leadership is good for this country,
is making a tremendous positive difference,
who stands at the heart of all that progress. He is a great president.
Gore's loyalty has not gone unnoticed, especially by the president, who said last night there has never been a more effective vice president.
I sometimes regret that one of the burdens of being vice president is having to brag on the president and never getting to brag on himself.
But how does Gore feel about the Lewinsky scandal, a scandal that could well hurt his own chances in the next presidential campaign?
The president himself has said that the actions described in that report were wrong, and he has apologized, and he's asked for forgiveness.
In other words, Gore does not want to talk about his personal feelings. He may be loyal, but he is also cautious.
He needs to remain loyal. He needs to remain supportive. At the same time, he does not want to somehow interject himself into the president's problems and undermine his own credibility.
Gore's caution extends to the possibility that Clinton will be forced from office. He insists the president will serve his full term, and he has warned his staff that anyone who talks about preparing for a sudden Gore presidency will be fired. Careful and loyal, yes, but also smart. Too smart, say his friends, not to lie in bed some nights and make plans for something he hopes will not happen. John Cochran, ABC News, Washington.
Stay with ABC News for complete coverage of the presidential crisis, beginning tomorrow with Good Morning America, followed at 9 a.m. and throughout the day with special coverage of the president's videotaped grand jury testimony. Then tomorrow evening, before Monday Night Football, tune in for a special one-hour edition of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. And 35 minutes after the game, Nightline will present a special one-hour edition. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, Hurricane George, when and where will it hit? And there's still no match for the one and only Billie Jean King.
This is World News Tonight, Sunday, brought to you by Pontiac.
This is for anyone who looks at things differently.
This is for the green light.
This is for Saturday night.
This is for people who want to be noticed.
This is for your dreams.
This is Pontiac driving excitement.
Now, drive more of it at the Pontiac 98 sell-down with 0.9% APR financing or up to $2,750 cash back on select 98 models. More reason than ever to see all the great 98 sell-down values at your Pontiac dealer today.
This is for me.
For me.
Eating Quaker oatmeal on a daily basis can help lower cholesterol. Mine dropped 29 points. That's one under the speed limit here in Lafayette, Colorado. Just a reminder, Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
Welcome to My Mailboxes, etc. You know, this may look like a regular mailbox, but let me tell you the secret. You get a street address, not just a P.O. box number. That means we can sign for your FedEx shipments and other packages. You get an entire support staff. Where else are you going to be able to call and check your mail? I mean, come on, who's going to do that for you? We'll also forward that mail anywhere in the world. Can your mailbox do that?
You could win $50,000. Play What's in the Box now at your neighborhood mailboxes, etc.
Life's an adventure because you're over 50 and still exploring. So take the Centrum made just for you, Centrum Silver, with age-essential nutrients specially adjusted to keep pace with your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
A dangerous storm is tearing through the Caribbean. Hurricane George, now with winds of 130 miles an hour, hit the Leeward Islands today. And if it stays on course, it will reach Puerto Rico tomorrow. ABC's Steve Osunsami is there.
Tonight, the nearly 4 million people who live in Puerto Rico are preparing for Hurricane George.
It's going to hit real hard, and I'm not ready for that.
Shelves once filled with water are now empty. Only AAA and AA size batteries are available, which is of no use for flashlights, and the lines for plywood stretch hours long.
We're trying to stay calm and do whatever we can. That way, just for the safety of our whole family.
It's not like the other years, so it's going to be tough, I guess.
In 1989, Hurricane Hugo tore through the island and caused $53 million in damage. Scientists say this storm is nearly as strong, with sustained winds at 135 miles an hour, and its eye is headed for San Juan, the most populated city in a country the size of Connecticut. Tonight, the island will begin evacuating more than 50,000 people to shelters on higher ground. Authorities say Puerto Ricans in the States should know the island is well prepared and doesn't need its phones jammed with incoming calls. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Joining us now from Orlando, Florida, is Bob Sheets, the former head of the National Hurricane Center, now an ABC News consultant. Bob, what is the storm doing right now, and does it pose a threat to the U.S.?
Well, Carol, right now it has weakened slightly as it moved toward the islands, but in the last few hour here or so, looks like it may be starting to regain strength there. And it certainly caused considerable damage in the Northeast Caribbean and right on into Puerto Rico. As far as the U.S. is concerned, it's a long way away. It's still quite uncertain where it's going to be after 3 days.
Bob, one more question quickly. What about Hermine? That was another storm brewing?
Well, fortunately, that one weakened very quickly as it moved ashore, the depression there in the Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi area, and now it's just some rain up in that area.
Thank you very much, Bob Sheets. When we come back, how the times change. Iran, of all countries, looks for help to avoid a war with Islamic revolutionaries.
Hi, Pumpkin. It's late. You should be asleep.
Mommy said that I could stay up until you got home. What you eating?
Cheerios.
For dinner?
They taste just as good at night. And remember I told you they were good for my cholesterol?
Oh, yeah.
An important new study shows that 3 cups of Cheerios whole grain oats a day added to a low-fat diet can help push your cholesterol down.
You know what else is good for my heart? A hug from you.
The one and only Cheerios.
Want to color your gray beard or mustache and look natural? Get Just for Men Gel.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
Brush in and in 5 minutes, gray is gone.
No one can tell with Just for Men Gel.
You gotta go away, where you go, do what you want.
There's a better place for business, the network place. Sharp can take you there. People are connected, knowledge is shared, and Sharp's advanced digital document systems, the Imager series, speed the flow of ideas through the network, creating impressive documents and raising productivity to its peak. The network place. Sharp can take you there.
Nobody does it like you, the way that you do.
Mrs. Adams Vacuum makes cleaning carpets a real workout. Mrs. Stevens' new self-propelled wind tunnel by Hoover almost works by itself. And wind tunnel cleaners work so well, they pick up more dirt than any other clean air upright. Self-propelled wind tunnel.
Hoover, nobody does it like you.
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
In news overseas, in the Philippines today, rescue crews saved 17 more people from the ferry that sank in a tropical storm Friday night. There are now more than 300 known survivors, but about 100 people are still missing, and there's not much chance of finding them alive. The president of Iran is in New York, where tomorrow he will meet with U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright and leaders from 6 other countries. Iran is trying to avoid a war with Afghanistan, where the ruling Taliban are fighting Iranian-backed rebels. ABC's Richard Gisbert reports.
Iran, a country known for radical Islamic fundamentalism, a country remembered for holding American diplomats hostage in 1979, now calls Afghanistan's Muslim Taliban leaders fanatics and accuses them of detaining, then murdering 9 Iranian diplomats. Today, the last of 200,000 Iranian troops arrived on the border with Afghanistan for a military show of strength. It's against that tense backdrop that Iran's president, Mohammad Khatami, will address the UN tomorrow. We shall do our best, he said today, to prevent a war. The Taliban denies that it ordered the killings of the 9 men, but had previously accused the diplomats and Iran itself of meddling in Afghanistan's ongoing civil war.
It's important to realize that these tensions have been building up ever since the Taliban took Kabul several years ago.
The Taliban is made up mostly of Muslims from the Sunni sect. Iran is mostly Shiite, and Iran accuses the Taliban of massacring Shiites in Afghanistan.
As far as the militant Sunnis are concerned, the Shias are a heretical sect in Islam. And as far as they're concerned, the punishment for being a membership of that sect is death.
Since its Islamic Revolution, when it held America hostage, Iran has been seen as the principal threat to more moderate Muslim states. Now, as Iran inches towards moderation and perhaps a thaw in relations with the U.S., it finds itself struggling with an even more militant form of fundamentalism on its own doorstep. Richard Gisbert, ABC News.
In South America, the mother of Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, has been killed in a car crash in Argentina, where she was living with her second husband. The Duchess, seen here with her mother last year, is flying to Argentina for the funeral. In just a moment, A big day for Sammy.
When your allergies are a nightmare, you need help. Not just any help. You need the power of Zyrtec. Prescription Zyrtec starts working fast and keeps on working for 24 hours. And Zyrtec works against so many allergies, from cats and dogs to pollen and dust. So when allergies are a nightmare, and when are they not? Remember the power of Zyrtec. In studies, drowsiness was the most common side effect. Others included fatigue and dry mouth. Most side effects were mild or moderate. Most people weren't bothered by them enough to stop taking Zyrtec. To learn more, look for an ad in Life magazine or ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Savor the summer. Live Maine lobster, specially priced at $14.99. At Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
What's the difference between Pillsbury cinnamon rolls and prepackaged? Wake up to Pillsbury cinnamon rolls.
Nothing compares.
Fibercon or Metamucil? Both have fiber for regularity, but I like Fibercon better.
Same natural action of fiber, but only Fibercon contains calcium.
And with Fibercon, I get my fiber in 2 caplets.
Fibercon, fiber and calcium in a convenient caplet.
Now some news in sports. There is now exactly 1 week left in baseball's home run derby. Mark McGwire hit another one today, number 65. Sammy Sosa is still at 63, but today in Chicago, it was all Sammy, all the time. ABC's Jim Williams is at Wrigley Field.
For Sammy Sosa, it was better late than never. Major League Baseball's tribute to the Cubs slugger came 1 week after he hit his 62nd home run and passed Roger Maris.
I was a little disappointed that we didn't see him get something like McGwire did.
No one from the Major League office was at Wrigley Field then, and there was no ceremony. Mark McGwire was celebrated when he broke the record 2 weeks ago, but since then, Sosa has proven the race was far from over.
Whoever breaks it first doesn't necessarily wind up as a champion in the end.
Critics said Sosa deserved the same attention and praise given McGwire. Today, the young man from the Dominican Republic got it. Sosa also got a number of gifts, but perhaps more important was the presence of Roger Maris's children.
You didn't need a ticket to today's game to be a part of the celebration. Just beyond the left field wall in this real neighborhood Chicagoans call Wrigleyville, fans were as close as a Sammy Sosa home run.
On the sidewalk near where Sosa's 61st homer landed, there was a festive atmosphere. Inside the park, Sosa displayed the same self-deprecating humor that has endeared him to so many fans.
Baseball being very, very good to me.
Jim Williams, ABC News, Chicago.
From the diamond to the tennis court. 25 years ago today, millions of people watched women's champion Billie Jean King beat a man, Bobby Riggs. ABC's Jamie Floyd takes us back to the days when we called it women's lib.
Live from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, the tennis battle of the sexes, Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs.
30,000 people were there. 40 million watched on live television.
I'm Howard Cosell. We're delighted to be able to bring you this very, very quaint, unique event.
Ex-tennis pro Bobby Riggs challenged superstar Billie Jean King, saying no woman could beat a man, not even a woman 26 years his junior.
Supposing you lose, Bobby.
Supposing I lose? Listen, a thought never even enters my mind.
But Billie Jean King beat Riggs in straight sets.
I understood the significance of that match very clearly. I understood that it was about social change.
It was 1973, and women were fighting for equal rights. But 25 years later, the world has changed, and so has tennis. Now the hottest tennis stars are women. Davenport, Hingis, the Williams sisters. And in the World Team Tennis League, men and women play with and against each other. Billie Jean King founded World Team Tennis 18 seasons ago. It remains America's only professional co-educational sport. She hopes it can be a model for the larger society.
That is my philosophy on life. Equal opportunity, boys and girls, same playing field.
Bobby Riggs died 3 years ago.
One of the last things he ever said to me really was, boy, we really made a difference, didn't we, Billy? I said, yeah, we did.
Jamie Floyd, ABC News, New York.
When we come back, an update on our top story.
With all we have to do today, does it make sense to keep color on your hair for 30 minutes when you can get rid of the gray in 5? Just 5. Great color, body, and shine in 5 gentle minutes. Just 5. Smart hair color. Works for me.
Something amazing happened here in Lafayette, Colorado.
Thanks to oatmeal.
I ate it for 30 days.
100 of us did.
98 of us.
98 of us. 98 of us lowered our cholesterol.
Mine went down 17 points.
A bowl of Quaker oatmeal a day.
My cholesterol went down 15 points.
16 very proud points.
That's a lot of healthy hearts.
Mine went down 5.
27.
9 big ones.
That's some powerful oatmeal.
Can you believe it?
Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
This is for
Anyone who looks at things differently.
This is for the green light.
This is for Saturday night.
This is for people who want to be noticed.
This is for your dreams.
This is Pontiac driving excitement.
Now, drive more of it at the Pontiac 98 sell down with 0.9% APR financing or up to $2,750 cash back on select 98 models. More reason than ever to see all the great 98 sell down values at your Pontiac dealer today.
This is for me.
For me.
Do you experience vaginal dryness and need moisture? Vagisil Intimate Moisturizer is like bringing back your own natural moisture with natural aloe and soothing chamomile. Gentle enough to use every day. Vagisil Intimate Moisturizer.
The new 2020, now on 3 nights. Tonight, an epidemic of illegitimate children fathered by NBA stars. Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, 2020 tonight.
Recapping our top story tonight, a complicated picture of a defiant and contrite president is emerging from his grand jury testimony. President Clinton heads to New York tonight. He will address the UN General Assembly tomorrow, just as his videotaped testimony is being released. And that's our report for tonight. Stay with ABC News for complete coverage of the presidential crisis, beginning tomorrow with Good Morning America. Followed at 9 a.m. and throughout the day with special coverage of the president's videotaped grand jury testimony. Then tomorrow evening before Monday Night Football, tune in for a special 1-hour edition of World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. 35 minutes after the game, Nightline will present a special 1-hour edition. Later tonight, the premiere of 2020 Sunday. That's tonight at 9, 8 Central. I'm Carol Simpson. For all of us here at ABC News, have a good week and good night.
Monday.
The evidence against the president made public. The videotape. How damaging will it be?
A special 1-hour World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, Monday.
Last week, on top of the news, on top of the presidential crisis in Washington. This week, stay with Good Morning America for the latest twists and turns. All this week on Good Morning America.
It's now official. The practice wins the Emmy